Hi, one best sports fix. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Mike Brenner. We are the odds couple today. This is the NBA odds couple show for Tuesday, March 28th. Interesting stuff in the NBA. Mike Brenner.
I didn't get the number of that. Did you get the? I didn't see it. Even the frickin' license plate number of that truck that hit me in the head last night knocked my ass down in the NBA.
Well,
Pete.
it's certainly an interesting time in the NBA.
Jesus.
We're seeing some major line movements on totals. Just to give you an example, the total in Phoenix Atlanta opened at 214.
Yeah.
I saw it on the overnight line at 215. I thought it might be a good play on the over.
Right?
It's now up to 221 and a half.
What
then
caused that? Because I researched, and guess what? Dwight Howard's not going to be sitting out, but there's two other players that are out for
no,
Atlanta.
I think it's just money. Then you got Denver, Portland. That one opened at 228. It's now down to 223. Ooh. Then you got
and Golden State dropped too.
Then you got Philly and Brooklyn opened at 220. It's now up to 225. So we are seeing some big line moves on totals, much bigger in multiple games. Even the Charlotte-Milwaukee game opened at 205. It's now down to 200. So some massive line moves.
How about Golden State Houston? Did that move?
It's moved a little bit. Not like one of these massive moves. It opened at 235. Now it's down to 233 or so. But so we're not some of these like 5-6 point line moves on totals, which we really weren't seeing earlier in the year.
Do you see this though typically at the end of each NBA season?
Yes.
Okay.
You see big moves because people either think they have inside information or do have inside information, and they act on it. All right.
Okay,
so
good stuff. Good
so Mike Brenner, we got 8 games going tonight. Of course, the big one is Golden State, Houston. Houston locked into the third spot in the playoffs, and Golden State not locked into the first spot yet, but it's basically a foregone conclusion. But now, anytime these teams meet, it's a big game.
Absolutely. Before we get into the picks, because Harden's involved, I just wanted to bring this up. And one of our Twitter followers, these guys are really knowledgeable. They got some great insight, and they were asking right after we did the live show, Brenner, what do you think? Can Cleveland find a way to turn that switch on this late? And again, you seem to think they can, right?
I mean, you never. I mean, look, we've seen, even you see in the NFL. In the NBA playoffs, there's one team that'll look in the beginning of a series like they're completely lost, and then they'll come back and look like and blow the other team out by double digits on the road in Game 4 and stuff like that. So of course,
but the dynamics are different. Like remember when Tim Duncan was playing, that San Antonio never had to turn it on. They just stayed steady. You know what I mean? So there's a difference there. Do I believe they can do it? Yes. Will they? I don't know. They just won a title last year. It's hard to keep that momentum going. But I did find this fact out through a buddy of ours here. The past 6 seasons, literally, LeBron James has played more minutes than anybody. All right. The second place person is James Harden. Here's the deal, though. The difference is 70 more games worth of minutes. That is huge. And, of course, LeBron's had more playoff time than Harden. But that just lets you know how much wear and tear he has, how much he throws that team on his shoulders. And, my God, buddy, that is a hell of a lot of minutes. Do I think they can turn it on? Yeah, but you know what? He isn't getting any younger. Pete. He's been in the league for a minute. And anyway, so back to that play.
Cleveland can definitely be overvalued for a sustained period of time. We'll see. We'll take it game by game.
Gabriel 17, I wanted to bring that up because he's got very, very good insight. So thank you.
All right. So Golden State, Houston. As we know, Golden State's on a massive underrun. I think they're 1-15 over the last 16 games.
That blew my mind.
Over under. I did take a small shot with the under at 235. It's now down to 233. Could easily see both teams deciding to get to a track meet and basically have an exhibition game here and have defense be optional. So I'm not loving the under, but I did take a small shot with it. I'm not going to give it as a pick.
Pull that trigger.
No, I'm not going to give it as a pick, though. But I think it's interesting. Do you have any opinion on that?
Well, yeah, I do. And you said something very, very interesting in the live show earlier. All right, Houston doesn't have a whole lot of incentive positioning-wise. They don't. Actually, their biggest game plan is to stay healthy and maybe even, rotate your guys, give them minutes to where they're going to be productive moving forward. You got Golden State, and I just read this, and I heard it last night. Steve Kerr said, we're not resting anybody. All right, we're waiting for Durant to come back, and we're just finding our way. Well, they're finding their way pretty good. I got a feeling this is going to be a nice play. I think Golden State gets the win in the long run. I'm going to pull the trigger pistol. Golden State on the full game.
All right, we can give you plus 1.5, minus 110.
Yep, and I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take it with confidence. It's a bounce-back night, by God, and I'm feeling it.
All right, sounds good, Mike Brenner. Now let's go to the one game that I mentioned that I was. It's a tricky game. Minnesota at Indiana. A lot of factors here. First of all, Minnesota, great talent, but they've lost, I think, 6 in a row. ATS. Obviously, they're struggling a little bit, but they still have that talent. They still have a good coach.
Might be getting a little tired too.
Might be getting a little bit tired.
You know what happened when Zach LaVine went down? That put a whole lot more pressure on 2 other players. Their minutes increased by 7.5 minutes per game. The average that adds up, Pete.
Especially when you're talking about young guys who hit what they call
quote unquote one and done guys from Kentucky. These guys aren't used to playing 82 games.
Absolutely. So they can get a little bit tired. They they are coming in here off of an extra day of rest compared to Indiana. So I was thinking that.
How about over? When you say tired, that tells me young guys over. I mean, young guys that are getting tired and they can run and gun. I'm thinking, who the hell wants to play defense in that situation?
Except that in Minnesota has Thibodeau. He's saying they need to crack down on defense in Indiana in general.
And
even though their last 2 games went over.
So
I was actually leaning over, although a knowledgeable guy in our morning show commented that he liked the over. I was leaning under, and I was also going to take a shot with Minnesota early, and I think I will do that. I'm going to take
4.5 or something.
The spread on the game is actually now it's down to down to 3.5 or 4.
Damn,
I took it on the overnight at 5. It's down to 3.5 or 4 now. Yeah, so I'm going to jump on the first quarter +1 Minnesota +1 +100.
Oh, that trigger pistol.
The first half is also tempting too, but I think I'm going to just stick with the first quarter.
I like that pick.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about the under. I still have to decide what I'm going to do.
Just thinking about it, Juan. That's it. Just thinking about it.
Definitely leaning under, though. All right, what do you have for us, Mike?
Here we go. Well, I'm going to start out. I like Brooklyn. I went a little bit deeper. 76ers again dealing, and even though all year they have dealt with injuries like nobody's business, but there's another, and I don't have his name in front of me, so I'm not. But there's another guy going to be sitting out as well, and I just think Brooklyn really believes that we're going to play spoiler. They are a team that really believes, hey, we're going to build for next year, and this Lopez has just had an amazing presence as a veteran, keeping these younger players focused. I like the direction they're going right now, Pete. And I usually don't bet bad teams, but I want to pull the trigger on the first half and the full game with them Brooklyn Nets.
All right, Philly has lost 2 out of their last 3 ATS.
They're getting tired.
The first half for Brooklyn will be -1.5, -105.
Okay,
is the best line we can give you at the Chris books. And then on the full game, let's see what we can give you. Shopping around here, -3, -110.
Okay, is that also Bet Chris on that one?
No, that is that's a bunch of places. Bet Chris, the Greek, a bunch of places have minus.
Good stuff, Pete. Any thoughts on that? You've
had
a pretty decent read on both of these teams.
Actually, I did look into this game, and I have probably pass on both the side and the total. Both sides and the total, I feel like could go either way. And you know what? I did make a decision. I am going to take the first half under on Minnesota, Indiana, 106.5. Hopefully, Minnesota will come out and play some decent defense. And
well, you're right. Thibodeau, that's what he built those Chicago Bulls on was defense. And he said that's his biggest hurdle has been getting these guys. He said, but they're getting there slowly. But you're right. They are getting tired, but they're going to get pressured tonight, I think.
All right. What else do you have for us, Mike
Pistol, Brenner? I like this one. I think this team is the last win was against Cleveland, and they beat them down pretty good. I'm talking about them Washington Wizards. All right, they're going to the Lakers. And Lakers, I mean, I will bet on them being a mess more than I would bet on them having that one night where everybody gets together. Now, I just read some injury updates, and it's not looking good. I don't know if it's Randall or the other guy, one of the starters, another young kid. He may not be playing, and I just think Washington knows they got to turn it on. I know it's a big line, but I'm pulling the trigger on the first half and the full game.
All right, for the full game, it's a huge line. -9.5, -107
I
is
think
the best
they beat
line.
this team by 15
or
more.
And then the first half, we can give you -5.5, -105 at the Chris books.
Love it. Really feeling good about that one. And there's another one I wanted to touch on a full game, and we talked about it. And Pete, I respect it every time because you have a sight for that. Maybe that could be a trap. I'm talking about Miami and Detroit.
I'll tell you what, that line has gone up a little bit since we talked about this in the morning show. I discussed it. Yeah, it was 2.5. Now it's up to 2. Still 2.5 some places, but juiced 3. And 3.
Yeah, because there's Miami. They're going to be ready to go. I really think Pistons are in that not only a downward spiral in their mind, but now you got something. And I just again confirm there's some discussion. Van Gundy may even walk from there as opposed to being fired from there. That right now can't be fixed overnight at all whatsoever. Miami has done something amazing since being 11-30. This this run, this charge that they're on, Pistol Pete. I love it. Give me them Miami Heat, baby, because they're going to turn up the heat in Detroit on the full game.
Well, the Greek is still hanging at 2.5 -110, so we'll give you that line. Pinnacle's up to 113.
Come on,
some other places are up to 3 already. But -2.5, -110 at the Greek.
And what they've done very well is since Deion Waiters went down, who is still out indefinitely, they have really filled that gap nice and without wearing out Goran Dragic. So with that being said, and Whiteside, hell, one game he had 13 stitches. The next game he couldn't move his ankle. This kid just keeps coming out and getting double doubles and says, I'm not slowing down.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Playoffs bound,
all right,
baby.
okay.
Yeah.
And let's quickly talk about Phoenix and Atlanta. Atlanta, I mean, Phoenix is having trouble covering against anyone, but they're not. They're still playing pressure free. Booker, of course, put up 70, and Atlanta, I'm not sure, even to Phoenix, they should be giving 8 points to anyone. What do you think?
Exactly. I totally agree, and I don't know why I don't jump on that with you, but I am going to be doing a 3-team teaser that is not whatsoever endorsed by Pistol Pete. But the bottom line is I like it, and I'm going to give you the teams because that's one of them, and I think it makes sense.
Okay, you want Phoenix?
I want Phoenix.
Plus, that'll put you at plus 14.
I mean, come on, Pete. And also, I did an injury update on Atlanta. All right, they're screwed tonight. You got Bazemore's out for sure. All right, Dwight Howard is putting in so many minutes, he's bound to get in foul trouble early. All right, Golden State.
That'll put you at plus 7.5.
God,
I like that one. Yeah.
And here we go. Give me those Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay, that'll put you at plus 9.5.
My God, Pete, that's a 3-team teaser that I love and I really respect it. And
nice.
I'm thinking about jumping.
You love it and respect it.
Yes.
You don't just love it and see it as an object.
Because I respect when you tell me no, get off it all set.
You love it and respect it.
So what are you going to pull that trigger on Phoenix? Come on, baby.
I mean, I was thinking
how much
about,
is it? 8.5 or 8?
No, it's 8. And the other thing about that game is that a huge move to the over, right? It opened at 214. Wow. Now it's about 221 or 221
that's
and a half.
One of the biggest moves I've seen in a minute.
So I'm thinking that the Phoenix team total over might be worth a shot. At Pinnacle right now, it's 105.5, juiced minus 131.
Yeah. And you said it. That team has nothing to lose. And there's other young guys on there. When they saw what Booker did, they're like, I want to jump in and do that. They got some talent on that team. It's young and it's deep.
All right, I'll give it.
Pull that trigger,
First half plus 4.5. Minus 104, and I'll give the full game at plus 8. It's Phoenix is definitely having issues covering, but maybe this is a game where they turn it around. Definitely timing.
Absolutely. Hey, Judge Joe Hornick's flying in Thursday at 1:30. Miami Connection, Ray and Sean, they got the whole crew's coming down at the end of May.
Nice.
Yep, and they're bringing pops. They're bringing their father with them.
Sounds
good.
He
left me that message yesterday. No, for real. And Booyah's coming back.
All right.
We're
awesome. And you know what?
I'm
seeing the first quarter line here at plus 3 minus 115. I'm also going to throw that one on. So I'm going to go on Phoenix 3 ways.
I can see why that girl at the table said to you, Pete, if you go in and start putting bets in at halftime, I'm done. That's why, because she's talking and you're shaking your head like you're listening, but you're only thinking about a fucking total.
That's correct. All right, Mike Brenner, why don't you review your picks for today?
I'm going to review it right now, and I love you, Pistol Pete. Brooklyn on the first half minus 1.5, full game minus 3. Washington Wizards, I'm going big on this one. First half minus 5.5, full game minus 9.5. Miami Heat continuing the surge, full game minus 2.5. I'm taking Golden State. I think Houston, like you said, Pistol, they don't got a whole lot to play for here, and I'm going to take Golden State on the full game plus 1.5. Going to wrap it up with a 3-team 6-point teaser from BetOnline. They got some great lines on that. Golden State plus 7.5, Suns plus 14, Minnesota Timberwolves plus 9.5.
All right, so I wound up on Phoenix 3 ways, and I'm taking Minnesota Indiana first half under and the first quarter on Minnesota. All right, Mike Brenner.
I just had an epiphany.
What's that?
I was down last night, Pete. I don't like getting beat down like that in a loss for a game. I just don't. And I got pounded. But the fact that I feel, without having to put on a show, I feel really good about bouncing back. I think that streak's on its way.
All right. Sounds good, Mike Brenner. Sounds good. That's about it. That'll wrap up the show. We will be back tomorrow for the Wednesday card.
That's right. Click the subscribe button, guys, and hit that like button. And don't forget, Odds Couple coming to you, baby.
Well, this episode of The Odds Couple is over. But if you give us a like and click SBR's logo at the bottom of the screen to subscribe, then you'll get all the upcoming videos as soon as they come out. And don't forget to take advantage of our website. There's free picks, live betting lines, and sportsbook reviews and ratings guides, and a whole lot more. Check it out now.